What does it really mean to be a Second Amendment sanctuary? All right, it is getting cold this winter and heating costs are rising like crazy. That's why I've decided to drive back old man winter this season with the Cold Killer. I've been using this thing every single day to keep warm while I'm working on videos. Within seconds of turning it on, you've got insta heat. I mean, I am pretty impressed with how much heat this thing throws off. There's a fan, a high and a low setting, and you can set a 1, 2, or 3 hour timer. If it tips over, there's an emergency cutoff switch. Head on over to thecoldkiller.com, get 50% off, and live in heated comfort this winter. The link is in the description.
I minored in psychology in college, and I think it's fascinating to get a video of the inner workings of, you don't necessarily know why a person does what we're about to see right here. This guy's about to steal packages off a porch and he gets caught. And the psychology here is how he tries to get himself out of it by, lying and saying he's a UPS guy and he's just checking to make sure the packages arrive safe. But check this out. This is very interesting to me. So he's ringing the doorbell, seeing if anybody's home. He sees the packages that he wants to take. He walks away. He's going to be coming back here in a second. It should come up on the screen. I got it all set up for that.
Hey, I was just coming. I'm with UPS.
Listen.
I'm with UPS. I was gonna go to your neighbors. We go around to every place and make sure that you're not home. We'll pick your neighbors or whatever. I'm an auditor for UPS. Swear to God. Even if it's look it up. Michael Hansen. Okay, I'm sorry. I not.
Did you hear how he got himself out of that? What a liar, man.
I'm with UPS.
Watch this. He's about to take the box.
I was just coming. I'm with UPS. I'm with UPS. I was gonna go to your neighbors. We go around every place and make sure that you're not home. We'll pick your neighbors or whatever. I'm an auditor for UPS. Swear to God.
He's not even making any sense. It's almost like he's Joe Biden's son. Totally not making any sense.
Even if it's look it up. Michael Hansen. Okay, I'm sorry. I not.
Michael Hansen. Isn't the last name, isn't the guy who does, what is it, Perverted Justice? Isn't his last name Hansen or something like that? That's pretty hilarious that he used the name Hansen. I wanted to show you something that somebody sent me. Somebody in my town sent me this article. I wasn't really aware of it. But apparently some sheriffs have gotten together in Cherokee County, which is where I live, Cherokee County, Oklahoma, and declared that our county would be a Second Amendment sanctuary. It says Tulsa County Sheriff Jason Knault issued a declaration on January 25th making the county a Second Amendment sanctuary. Now, what's sad about this is every county in this country, because the supposed supreme law of the land is the Constitution of the United States, which contains the Bill of Rights, which contains the Second Amendment, right? Shouldn't every county be a Second Amendment sanctuary where you're safe to be, not only the Fourth Amendment, secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects, but shall not be infringed is in place. Like you can have whatever kind of personal protection device you want. Knault issued the following statement. I, Cherokee County Sheriff Jason Knault, and joining other sheriffs across the state of Oklahoma who have declared their counties to be Second Amendment sanctuaries, it's my intention by making this declaration to enforce our citizens' right to bear arms as guaranteed by the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. Then you know what that means? That would mean that if this is truly going to be a sanctuary, a Second Amendment sanctuary, then that would mean that they would discontinue the NICS instant background check system, and they're not going to do that. You can't just walk into a gun store and buy a firearm because you gotta be approved by the psychopaths in Washington's District of Criminals. You have to undergo a federal background check if you want a personal protection device. What if you're a female, a 19 or 20-year-old female off to college? It's kind of in a bad area. Thank you very much for that donation, Nicole. That's how it comes up right there. I don't want to take comfort in this kind of thing right here where our sheriff in our county, it looks good. It makes me feel good, you know, but what does it really mean? So if we're going to be a Second Amendment sanctuary, are they going to say, hey, no more of this NICS instant background checks? That is a total infringement. No, they're not going to do that. No, if they did, that'd be awesome. It's my intention by making this declaration to enforce our citizens' right to bear, you know what, as guaranteed by the 2A of the United States Constitution. I'll believe it when I see it. As sheriff and chief law enforcement officer, like I'm not going to be able to go to a gumbo store right now and go, hey, the sheriff said he's not going to enforce any anti-Second Amendment laws, so just let me buy this little gumbo right here. I'll have that long gumbo, and I'll have the little short gumbo right there. Oh, you got to do a background check. No, you don't understand. You didn't read the memo. We're a Second Amendment sanctuary. No, it's not going to work like that. So I mean, I can see why people get excited about this kind of thing right here, but I don't get excited about it because it's meaningless if they don't wipe away everything that's anti-2A. Everything. It's amazing to me when a Nancy Pelosi comes out and says, well, nobody's above the law. Well, if nobody's above the law, Nancy, then why are you backing and writing laws that take away our rights and take away our money? As Sheriff and Chief Law Enforcement Officer of Cherokee County, Oklahoma, it will always be the goal of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department to provide service and protection to the people of Cherokee County without infringing on the rights of Cherokee County citizens who choose to possess, you know what, to protect themselves and their property. I'm also announcing my support and asking you to do the same of Senator Warren Hamilton's Senate Bill 631 of the first session of the 58th Oklahoma State Legislature 2021. If Senator Hamilton's bill is passed, it will make the entire state of Oklahoma a Second Amendment sanctuary. It is not going to be a sanctuary, by the way, if you can't. By the way, I'm pulling up this Senate bill right here. We'll see what it says. I haven't taken a look at it yet. It's not going to be a sanctuary unless you get rid of the NICS instant background check system, because that is a federal background check system that basically, you know what the NICS instant background check system, which is a federal background check, does? It violates the 10th Amendment. That is not a power delegated to the United States by the Constitution. Therefore, the states should be able to do what they want. If you declare an entire state to be a Second Amendment sanctuary, then you're not going to have a background check because it is an infringement. It says shall not be infringed. There's no deceptive language. There's no murky, you don't have to guess about what this means or what it says. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state of mind, and those geographical locations, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So this, what is it? Senate Bill 631. Thanks, Lone Gunman. An act relating to state preemption of federal infringement of the Second Amendment rights, creating the Second Amendment Sanctuary State Act, preempting field of legislation, prohibiting certain entities from accepting certain grants or funding, clarifying provisions, providing definition, providing for codification, and declaring an emergency. Be it enacted by the people. A new section of the law be codified in the Oklahoma statutes. Let's see. The new section of the law will be codified in the Oklahoma statutes unless there's created duplicate. It's pretty short. Let's see. Any agency of this state or any political subdivision in this state shall be prohibited from accepting any grants or funding to implement any statute, rule, or executive order, judicial order. And it's like, why do they even make these laws? They don't even obey the Constitution. If you're not going to obey the supreme law of the land, then why even make all these little underlying laws that nobody's going to pay attention to? Just piling laws upon laws, even good laws, are redundancies. It's like, hey, look, it really boils down to the enforcement arm, because it doesn't matter what the political class writes down on these fancy pieces of paper. Let's say they get out their little pieces of paper and they write these fancy words down. If nobody's going to enforce them and bring them into real life, bring these words into action, then it doesn't matter what the politicians write down. It's not the political class that I'm so concerned about. It's the enforcement class who's going to obey the political class and then run roughshod over our rights and steal more of our money. They're not out there serving and protecting. They're out there harassing and collecting. They are the problem. And if they got their heads out of their asses and stopped taking federal funds and stopped believing in the stupid, long and costly and failed and deadly drug war, but they can't. See, people don't, here's the deal with people. They're not incentivized to come to the knowledge of the truth if their paycheck depends on them not understanding and coming to the knowledge of the truth. If your paycheck, if in getting your paycheck means that you have to go out here and just be an order follower, just doing your job kind of thing, then you're not going to stop just doing your job and just being an order follower, which means you're being a conformist and you're running away from the idea of being a moralist. If the way you feed your family is by just being an order follower, who's going to stop wanting to feed their family? It's going to take great sacrifice. It's going to take a stellar moral compass. The people who are going to be getting away from that paycheck and doing the right thing. See, I'm convinced that if you become, let's say, because I was going to become a law enforcement officer back in what year was it? 2003 or 2004. I applied to be a Los Angeles County a sheriff's deputy. I ended up not doing it because at the time, putting myself in danger was probably not the best idea for somebody who lived in LA County, because basically the gangs were gunning for sheriffs. They would just wait for a cop to come down the road and they would, open fire on them or throw bricks from an overpass or whatever. And, cops were getting injured. So I didn't think that was the best way to go for my family. I'm glad I didn't become an order following law enforcer. But let's say somebody became a law enforcement officer because they thought, you know what? I want justice for my community. And I think that's one of the reasons, aside from the fact that there are people who want power and they want authority and they want to control other people. And there's no better way to do that than to have a costume, a badge, and a gun and come with the authority of the state. And then you have this qualified immunity where if you do something wrong, if you do something bad, you get a paid vacation. You get put on administrative leave. Like this guy in Oklahoma, I can't remember if he was in the police department or part of the sheriff's office, but his name was Daniel Holdsclaw. And he would arrest like these gnarly looking prostitutes, throw them in the back of his cop car and rape them, even throwing one of them on the hood of his car. They ended up throwing the book at the guy, but it took forever to do it. I'm going to do a video tomorrow where, I don't know if you guys know who James Freeman is, but he has a fantastic YouTube channel called James Freeman, and one of the last videos that he did was an absolutely perfect example of how the cops, if you do a particular action, they will come out boom immediately against you. You'll be arrested, you'll be fingerprinted, you'll be thrown into a cage same day. But if the cops do that same action that you went to jail for, if a cop does it, they just kind of look the other way and they go, hey, we're going to be transparent about this whole thing. I'm not going to give it away because I want you guys to take a look at the video, and then I want you to go over to James Freeman's site and, give him some love, because people like that deserve it. But he goes to this police department asking about the criminal activity that one of their officers was involved in, and for some reason, they're tight-lipped about it. Nobody wants to talk about their fellow officers being engaged in criminal activity. Clearly criminal activity committed in broad daylight on camera, as is often the case. Like Amber Geiger blowing away Botham John. The guy sitting on his couch watching TV, eating a bowl of ice cream. She comes in, says she's in the wrong apartment, open fires on the guy. The guy loses his life. It took them forever to throw the book at her, and then all she got was a 10-year sentence. If you or I did that, oh my gosh, man. It's curtains for you. You don't even have to have done that. They put some people away for, what was that guy that just got released? He was in jail for 27 freaking years. And then they finally found out, because, now we have DNA samples and stuff. They found out that he wasn't even on the scene of the crime they said he committed. They threw the book at this guy. He lost his entire life. God, man, can you imagine not seeing your kids for almost 3 decades? There's a guy sitting in jail right now. You probably heard of him. His name is Schaefer Cox. All the guy was doing was exposing evil in Alaska, evil in the political circles that had a lot to do with human trafficking and child sex trafficking or child pornography within the political circles. They throw the book at this guy. He's already served 9 years of a 26 or 28 year sentence. The guy's completely innocent. The guy had a wife and 2 kids. That's infuriating.
Hey guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to me and follow me on my alternative media channels on BitChute, Library, Odyssey, and on DLive. On DLive, I live stream Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also, don't forget to follow me and subscribe to me on my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and subscribe to me on highimpacttv.com. All these links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I will see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.